Let's see what we got. Academics just betrayed Drake. Y'all know I said I seen it coming. I said they fake friends and fake frenemies, and Academic started off really dissing Drake, and then he started getting on the Drake bandwagon and becoming the biggest Drake fan of all. But I be seeing that like hating them little shots he be throwing. Let me see what he did.
What's poppin', y'all? It looks like that iced out OVO chain wasn't enough for Academics, because with the new news that he's delivering in regards to Drake, this makes him look really bad. And it all ties into this Sauce Walka beef. And this is just Academics being fair, really, with the whole situation. But this all started when a leaked call would come out of Sauce Walka and his baby mama.
Don't say nothing about me with my baby mama or nothing, or I'ma handle y'all. It's that simple. I don't give a what the consequences is.
Why? Yeah, you handle me. You already handle me. So what the does it matter? You already put your hands on me. You already do all that already. So what
You
the
know she
does it even
recording the
matter?
call when they go to talking like that. But she recording me.
But I didn't. You got jumped by my black. It's shit on video.
Yeah, because you had me set up. Are you proud of that? Does that
I would
make
have been
you
like,
feel
bitch,
good?
why is you saying all this? Bitch, you gotta be recording a nigga talking like that.
I will get Drake car shot at.
He tripping.
Man, you better realize who the I am. I don't give a nobody talking about.
Okay, you calm down.
No, I don't need to do nothing.
Yeah, you do.
So this call comes out, and a lot of people are looking at it like, yo, we thought Sauce Walka was player. So a little bit about Sauce Walka. Sauce Walka goes back well over 10 years. And Sauce Walka is, like, his whole thing was drip. And he had a little bit of a back and forth with Famous Dex, because Famous Dex had a song. Famous Dex is from Chicago. Sauce Walka's from Houston. Famous Dex had a song called Drip From My Walk. And Sauce Walka felt like Famous Dex took some sauce from Sauce Walka's style and the sound that he had at the time. There was a bit of influence there. You could see the similarities, but Sauce Walka was nowhere near as big as Famous Dex. So that whole thing happens. But then Sauce Walka starts to go off on Drake about the Houston situation, which is Drake's been coming to Houston for forever. He's got J. Prince family. He's been locked in with Houston for nearly 20 years, if we're being fair here. But Sauce Walka felt like he didn't show enough love, and there's been disses back and forth between them. So Sauce Walka, he would drop a remix to Back when that came out, which was 2015. He would drop Whack to Whack, dissing Drake, and Drake would take shots at him ever since, like small little sly shots. It was never really, I don't think it was ever real deal beef like it was with a Kendrick Lamar or a Pusha T, and it got like super personal. It never got dirty and violent, let's just say that, or to where it could get like that from what we've seen. Now, fast forward where we're at right now. Songs come out, and Sauce Walka's yelling at his baby mama, and his baby mama would go on to expose him, one of his baby mamas, Kylie, that Drake was allegedly hitting, because he's saying like, yo, I'll get Drake smoked in that call. So she posts a couple of different bank accounts and saying, mind you, doesn't he claim he's the richest in Houston? But yet this is his bank account. And you can see here, there's a couple of different balances. I think this doesn't mean anything. Number one, money is constantly flowing. Like Sauce Walka, whatever businesses he has, whatever money-making means he has, there's probably more than this. And on top of that, money's flowing in and out. Sauce Walka spends money. So he's buying cars, money's flowing. This could have been at a time of the month when money was not coming in. This doesn't really mean anything, but this doesn't look great either. So how does this tie back to Drake and Academics? Well, Adam22 has had his own beef with Sauce Walka, and he even said that he'd be down to run the fade with Sauce Walka.
Once I whoop his ass, which I 100% would.
You know if you call him out, he'll take that fight.
Yeah, let's do it.
He can't whoop nobody.
Beat his up in the backyard for free. Free 99.
But one thing you gotta know, there's two things for sure that a nigga can't fuck with me. Adam 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or mother 10.
He's a labubu to me.
You despicable piece of white toilet paper. I'll sell you back the woman you love.
Last month, my rent and bills hit at the same time. I looked at my bank account and just thought,
nigga, some real pimp shit.
I'll sell you back your auntie, your granny, I'm the nigga that beat the black ball and came out black and balling.
Anyway, Sauce, you can get that fade with your little Labubu. Sauce Labubu.
Okay. So he was saying that he was going to fight Sauce Walka. Adam 22, and this is after the Jason Love situation. He's saying like, yo, Sauce Walka's 5'8", and he's 6'3", or is he 7 inches taller? Adam is he's quite a tall guy. And I just don't think that he's got the heart to throw a punch. I think Dean the Great's like, 5'3", and he's knocking Adam out cold. Adam wouldn't even have a chance against him either. With all that being said, though, it was a mention of Drake that would get Sauce Walka heated.
There be so many screenshots of so many different bank accounts that I did not look at any of them, but I'm like, bro, if you actually were doing good in life, you would not be texting a random person telling them how rich you are. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Mentioned Drake and G-Wagon, 150,000. He talked about the G-Wagon, so I'm just listening.
Let's just say that Drake has been giving me a little bit more information about Sauce that I might not otherwise have had.
I'm trying to figure out, how did this get started?
Because when we were talking on here and we were talking about like if these rappers are going to make it as streamers.
Oh, he had 80. You said he had 80 streamers.
And he did in the screenshot that I was referring to. I actually asked ChatGPT. They said that he's averaging 200 streamers.
Last night he had 500
viewers.
And it was 11 o'clock Houston time.
I just feel like the idea of telling everybody how rich you are while also streaming for 9 hours a day to 200 people just doesn't really jive for me. Doesn't really add up. Like
So this was on the Adam and Wack show months ago. So you see, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. This was back in January. And he's talking about like, yeah, Drake mentioned this, and that. And I was like, wait, what?
It's crazy.
Number one,
everybody trying to be
Drake
a streamer too.
Drake does talk to Adam 22. If you're talking to Adam 22, you should be assuming that you are talking to the entire world. Like, I don't think, especially if you're Drake, I don't think the idea is like, yo, this guy, yeah, he's going to know to keep this under wraps, right? Or ask me before he mentions it in public, right? Nah, I think Adam is more like whoops, my bad. I don't even think he's oh, damn, I messed up there, my fault. Accountability? Hell no. I think he's talking to me and Drake. That's why he got so angry, because he hears about this Maybach and he hears information that only his baby mama would know. And how would it get to Adam and Wack if it wasn't through Drake? So he's like, yo, these guys are pillow talking about me. That's what Sauce Walka's saying.
I didn't even believe
and on top of that, academics would reveal that Sauce Walka's been making bread off of Drake.
Now, remember, this is 10 years ago. So the whole lore is Sauce Walka. And Sauce Walka admits it to me. He says, I've made damn near $1 million off Drake. Now, I know, by the way, we like Drake. And by the way, Drake's a billionaire. Who gives a who he spends him? I don't care. I really don't care. You know what I mean? Like, does anybody think Drake's like some super pimp? Like come on. Anyway, I will say, I guess Sauce said, watch what
I guarantee Drake gonna stop fucking with Act, because just was saying little small shit like that. Who believe Drake's a pimp and da-da-da-da.
Talked about
Drake
it.
Take all that shit to heart.
Remember when I was on stream, I was like, oh, there's a couple of rappers and a couple of people hit me about the same girl. To his credit, I know y'all want to be like, no, you ain't send no girl at nobody. To his credit, he says, I seen when you was talking about it. I guarantee this rapper and this rapper was on your line. He said the right names. I ain't gonna lie to you. He definitely said the right names. So he knows other, like, these are like 100 M's up. We're not talking about some like rappers that just get some. He exposed some football player. So he basically says, yo, here's the reality.
Patties.
Drake has spent a ton of money on a bunch of women. We like some of the same type of women. They're from Houston. They're all down to the game. They're all gonna go with Drake. And when they put a pimp like me, they're gonna bring back some of the money, and I'm getting that. You feel what I'm saying? So that's his premise. Okay? That's his premise. So he says when Drake would diss him, he wouldn't say nothing, right? Like on Walka like a talking, because he claims, he said, yo, why would I say something and fuck up the bread? He's like, this guy's getting me paid. He literally said he felt he made $1 million off Drake. You get what I'm saying? Whatever. So I haven't listened to this song in a long time.
And then later on, he would reveal who the NFL player he was talking about that Sauce Walka mentioned as well.
I'm still hood. Everything come from.
Nigga just had a Dragon Ball Z chain.
School in the street.
I went back in on the dead side. I said, man, he said,
So I don't know if you want to drive over here. We by Coop Shop.
I see.
Whatever.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation.
Chat.
That's the chick.
Oh, this is. I'm quitting. I'm quitting broadcasting. I want to get into pimping. I want to get into pimping. I want to get into pimping now. I want to get into pimping. Sign me up. Sign me up. Sign me up.
This ruins the music for me because we're finding out that Drake is beefing with Sauce Walka, has spent over $1 million with Sauce Walka, and keep in mind, this is the best source we could possibly get this information from because. Who is more biased towards Drake than in academics, right? If Sauce Walka was giving this to somebody else, people would be like, nah, the Drake stands, they would be like, nah, he would never, that's not true. That can't be true. Well, here we have it from the source and from Sauce Walka, and Sauce Walka providing evidence that he hit Stephon Diggs over the head with, like, we saw him with that chick. And on top of that, Drake is going to his city to try to get his girls. So the guy that's up 9 figures, maybe even $1 billion, 10 figures, he has to come to Houston and get gritty with the baby mamas that this supposed dusty guy, according to Adam 22, or like broke guy, has already impregnated and is constantly hanging out with and making money off of. That's the biggest player move ever by Sauce Walka, and that's Sauce Walka's identity. Sauce Walka is like, yo, I'm player, I'm pimping, I'm getting money off of these chicks. They're giving me money back. They're on OF. They're doing all this other stuff. So that aligns with who Sauce Walka wants us to see him as. There's alignment there. But with Drake, I'm looking at this like, yo, the music sucks now. I'm listening to Iceman. It's getting ruined for me, certain songs, when these things are explained, because like one of the lines that is just so memorable to me, I think it was from Her Loss by Drake, where he's like, you ain't a model if you ain't been in Vogue. And I'm just like, Drake's not interested in any model. And he's like, yo, I got Wilhelmina Covers, which is a huge modeling agency. Drake doesn't like any of these chicks. So we got Drake LARPing on track, pretending to like women that he doesn't. Like, we're looking at the baby mamas of Sauce Walka, these Houston chicks. These chicks they're like those oxes that they've given human growth hormone to or trenbolone to, and they're just like built completely different. They're not supposed to be built. Human beings are not supposed to be built like that. Thick as all hell, quote unquote thick. They're really obese, but they've just pumped the fat into the right place. But he doesn't even want them. He's like, nah, get the hell away. But and Sauce Walka would use the Maybach in a music video.
Same clothes? Same clothes, right? Yup. Same clothes, right? Same clothes. Now he says if you look in there, you're going to see, oh, that's the Maybach. That's the Maybach truck. He says it's a great Maybach truck. He's with their kid. That's the Maybach truck, yeah. So he says he takes the truck, like basically that's him kind of like almost like letting Drake know, like, I don't give a you my baby moms and bought her a Maybach. That's in my video now. That's what he's claiming.
You bought my bitch a Maybach and I get to drive that bitch?
And then, yes, this is the Maybach. Yep, right here. So, yeah.
And
so
it ain't his bitch like his main bitch.
He said she didn't want to be in the video.
So
there was some other story that Academics tells where Drake would call into one of the strip clubs or clubs that this girl works at, and after seeing the music video that Sauce Walka posted and the IG video using the Maybach, that he gets it repoed from the girl. Like, he has the people at the club take the Maybach away. And
so Drake saw old boy in it and got that bitch repoed.
This is, people at the club take the Maybach away. And this is, I feel like Kendrick has to get a W for this somehow, because what the hell is going on, dog? You have Drake watching Sauce Walka music videos, spotting a Maybach because he has some sort of a beef with Sauce Walka, but he still wants to crack Sauce Walka's baby mamas, but he's still giving money to Sauce Walka's baby mamas. In terms of, he bought that Maybach entirely. It wasn't like a situation where, even for Quavo, when he was with his Saweetie at the time, he was making payments on the Bentley that he got her, and he repoed that Bentley himself. So he had the name on it. They're saying that Drake gets the pink slips, so he's buying these cars outright in cash. And that's not the only girl that got a car, but a Maybach was one of the vehicles. So Drake is at the, quote, embassy, the coolest rapper, and this guy's writing bars and talking about and watching Sauce Walka's every move. And this is where, like, Adam tries to call Sauce Walka broke. This is the whole thing with Adam 22. If Adam 22 doesn't like somebody, they're suddenly a failure. Like, he's talking about, like, oh, Sauce Walka's music career is like a failure. Sauce just thinks Sauce Walka, or it's like struggling. And this is the thing too. If Sauce Walka was struggling for money, we would have heard about it, because he's the money guy. Like, he's businesses complain about Sauce Walka. It's like, for instance, with Sean Kingston, we saw him having issues for years about not paying people before the authorities came down and said, like, yo, you're scamming people. We gotta.
I lost $50,000 because I didn't buy a domain name. My advice, head to Wix.
To drag you and your mother to jail. So there's that with Sauce Walka. And then Academics gives the final tally of just a couple of these girls and how much money was involved.
Sauce baby mama got a Maybach. The guy was a Maybach truck. The other one got a Maybach car. And they're all getting their rent paid. And apparently at times, according to Sauce, his baby mama will come back 20 to 30,000 every time she go sees Drake. And they sit down. So, according to him, like, he gave me a list of rappers and some of the usual suspects. Like, chat, who's the most buying? You know who we talking about.
Future.
A little bit slow.
Or Lil Baby.
You know what we talking about. Yo, he was telling me, like, yo, made money off of him, him. Now, if this is true, I ain't gonna lie, man. Well, you see, Drake make love songs. So, like, who cares, right? Like, he could be heartbroken. The rest of these rappers,
I'm gonna be real here. I'm upset that I had to watch this, because now I'm listening to Iceman and this sounds like sucker rap.
That I watched
because
this whole video,
you could try to defend your mans and be like, Drake never said he's like a super pimp. Dude, hold on. There's a big difference between being a super pimp. I'm never paying for anything. They're gonna give me money as well. Well, there's ranges. I'm never paying for anything, right? Sauce Walka, because he had to DP them, because the girl on the phone says, oh, you already got me jumped. So he got her jumped for pillow talking, but he has no problem with her going to get cracked and bringing him back money from Toronto, which, are you even allowed to transport cash amounts that big? Hey, I'm just saying. Is he bringing these chicks on private jets too? So yeah, you can't be like, nah, Drake's not like a super pimp. Like, he gets into relationships like everybody else. He falls in love, heartbroken, all that other stuff. No. We're not tossing that to the side. This is the biggest rapper in the game, and he's out here competing for the same thing as a supposed Sauce Walka, who she already had Sauce Walka's baby. And Sauce Walka doesn't care. That's the thing. Some people will be like, well, he's hitting his baby mama. His whole identity is, yo, I'm pimping. Yeah, I'm selling. They're for sale. You can have them. The hood are doing. Just stressing over this, like, baby mama drama. Yeah, it's insane. And this circles back to me having to give A$AP Rocky a W. Like, I don't know how A$AP Rocky catches a W from this, but wouldn't you rather be in A$AP Rocky's position? You've got, I'm not saying you've got Rihanna, because everyone's like, yo, he's got Rihanna. No, not like that. But he's got a very successful woman that's not embarrassing him, that he's not getting into beef with other dudes over, although the whole Drake thing kind of is like that. She is supporting his concerts. He has his own deals. She's had several of his children, so legitimate children, not accidental children, and plans on having more of his children. And she kind of fell back on the whole thing. She's running her own business, having more of his children, and she kind of fell
Ain't Drake did this whole little Borat
children,
thing in the
not
head
accidental
and shit?
children,
Who
and
did it
plans
first?
on
A$AP
having more
Rocky
of
or
his
Drake?
children. And she
Y'all
kind
put
of
in the
fell back
comments.
on the whole thing. She's running her own business or promotional vehicle for her business. And A$AP Rocky seems unbothered. And I don't think A$AP Rocky's ever been in a situation like Drake's, where he's paying for these chicks and beefing with some random rapper over his girl. Like, that's not happening with Rocky. But yeah, man, I'm a hitting upside. And also some of the other, I do like, though, that Drake, even as up as he is just giving us pure raw entertainment like this. Like, this guy's doing petty beefs with Sauce Walka over him wanting a trick and then making songs about it. What other rappers devoting themselves to the game like this?
I don't know. That's another L for Drake. That's all I can say, man. Hit that like.
Don't do it for the power, just do it for the power, just do it for the power. Do it, do it, do it.